Hello everyone, my name is Jason, and I'm a channeler, and I'm here to talk a little bit about some stuff that I've been picking up in the ethers. So nice to meet you, and nice to see you again. I run a channel called Experiences in Channeling, and we offer a whole bunch of different things, spiritual guidance, sound healing. We have a membership group and that meets twice a month. And we also have, if you join the group, then you have access to 50 plus hours of archived channeling material plus sound baths. So if you're interested in any of the above, please check it out. The links are below. And so yeah, so what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is, where did it go? So first of all, with everything that I talk about, always remember that we are living in a yin and yang universe. And this third dimension is all about the yin and the yang. And everything is completely and utterly balanced and mirrored at all times. So whenever you start to go into fear and think that, oh my God, the world is falling apart, that's just an illusion. It's just a perception. And that this is the shape that guards or guides this third dimension, the paradigm that we're in. And that's what we're all learning about here. We come down here to understand what this is all about. We have the choice to go into one side or the other, and there's no restrictions there. We have complete and utter free will. We can do what we want. And so I would imagine the way of looking at it is that we go through many different lives. We jump into this side, and we're in this side, then we're over here, then we're over here. We're all over the place. And then finally, we start to realize that the middle path is the path to go. And that the middle path, even though it's hard to see, it's almost invisible, it's there. And when we go down the middle path, we're not jumping into any of the polarities. We're not jumping into fear or anger or sadness or all love and light or all darkness. We're just in the middle. And we are observing everything from our, I guess you could say, our higher perspective stance. We're not just down here with the street view. We are kind of looking at the overall view of everything that's going on with the help of our guidance. And that's where the guidance comes in. I wanted to share, though, that just a little bit about this. If you've listened to my channel before, you've heard this many times. But if this is your first time, just to share what's going on with this yin and yang symbol, is that the polarities are being more and more polarized. It's becoming more and more extreme, as you can probably guess, as you can probably see outside of in the world, that there are certain topics that you have to avoid in certain conversations because you know that it would be a firestorm, that it would just set off fireworks and that people would lose their stuff. And that's always a good sign that you're in a polarized time. And that's by design. It's being polarized so that people find it harder and harder to be in one polarity or the other. You know, in the past times, it might have been easier. You could kind of play it out. You could pretend like you're in one polarity, but now it's just so intense that as humans, we're always searching for peace. We want to relax. I mean, all of us, every day, we're just trying to find a way to relax, to let go of all the stress of the day. We're looking for peace. That's all we're looking for throughout our lives. We're looking for love and peace. And most of us are in denial about it. So I speak for myself too. But that's what we're looking for. And so if we're in this polarized area, it's just so hard to be there that we just feel almost like we just want to go to the neutral path. And we're just like, this is too much energy. I'm just going to go into the neutral path. I'm just going to accept everything that's going on, try to understand it, try to see the bigger picture, not jump into fear or judgment or anger, not try to change anyone, but just, stay in that middle path. And that's the secret. That's the pathway out of here. Even Buddha was talking about the middle path as well. He had tried many different pathways throughout his life. And what he realized in the end was that the middle path was the path of, basically that's the exit. And that's what the ascension is, in a sense. One aspect of it is us graduating from this paradigm, this structure. Okay, so I didn't mean to go too much into that, but I just wanted to share. I haven't shared in a while, so I wanted to. But what I wanted to talk to you today is about that there is, I was given this, sorry, here, that's not what I wanted to put up. I'll just put this up for now. But I was channeling a few days ago, and I was going to do vocal channeling, and I usually do it like on my phone. I pretend like I'm talking on the phone, and I'll take a walk. And it's easy to do that in Japan because people don't really know what I'm talking about. So it just sounds, even if it sounds crazy, no one's going to question it. But so that's usually my method. And so I was about to pull up my phone and do it, and my guide said, "No, it's not time. We don't want you to do any vocal channeling at this moment." And I said, "What's going on?" And they said, "Well, what's happening right now?" They said, "There's a storm in the mass consciousness at the moment." And I said, "Well, what does that mean?" They said, "Well, it doesn't really involve you, but it will affect you. You're going to pick up on the emotional aspects of this storm in the mass consciousness, and it's going to kind of throw you for a loop a bit." And so I had been asking my guides about this storm, like, what does this storm mean? And so the general idea that I got from it was that it was this storm is a coming to terms with a lot of information and coming to terms with a lot of ideas that is in the mass consciousness, so sorry, there's noise outside, but like the mass consciousness, we are all connected with the mass consciousness. We're all one. And so that if a large portion of the population starts to experience a certain thing, then we're all going to pick up on it. So that's what the storm is. It's a storm of awakening. A lot of people are realizing a lot of things about themselves and about their lives, and we're experiencing it as a storm because it's a sudden thing. And so, my goodness, that's distracting, whatever that is. So I was asking, so recently what I've been doing is I'll ask for advice in dreams as well. And so in my dream, I was presented with, someone said, "Hey, we're going to the Roosevelt Belt. We're going to check out the caves there. Would you like to come?" And I said, "Oh, okay, maybe. Let me think about it." And so I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." So I checked out the Roosevelt Belt caves, Roosevelt Belt, or I looked up Roosevelt Belt. So here we go. Here's my search on DuckDuckGo. I checked in Roosevelt Belt, and you know what I got? I got the Great Plains Shelter Belt. I thought that was quite interesting. The Great Plains Shelter Belt was a project to create windbreaks in the Great Plains states of the United States. It began in 1934, and Roosevelt initiated the project in response to the severe dust storms of the Dust Bowl, which resulted in significant soil erosion. Okay, so that was what I got. And I'd never heard about this Rust Belt before. Sorry, about the Shelter Belt or the Roosevelt Belt. And let's see. Here's a map. So you see all these trees here, right? Right in the middle of the United States. They were all planted. Well, supposedly, I really, a lot of this stuff that I've been hearing about this. About Roosevelt and what he did. My goodness, there's a little baby screaming and crying like crazy. So he created the Shelter Belt, and but a lot of the stuff that Roosevelt did, I think he was repaving the world. Basically, he was doing a lot of work around the world. Sorry, I'm so disorganized now because of this. So, but yeah, the Shelter Belt. Let me just stick with the Shelter Belt. So the Shelter Belt came in a dream, and so here it is. These trees that were planted to protect from soil erosion, from the wind from coming in the Great Plains states. The Great Plains are very flat. If you've ever driven through them, it's very flat. And so I thought this was kind of an interesting idea that this is what came up, because here we have this idea that there's a storm in the mass consciousness. And then I have this thing, the Great Plains Shelter Belt, the Roosevelt Belt. So what does that mean? What connection did that have? In addition to that, there are the caves underneath it. So here's one of the caves. It's a really famous cave in South Dakota. I have a picture of them in the cave. So we have also the underground aspect to it. And then Yeah, okay. So first of all, the idea of the trees. Okay, so the trees are there to protect the storm. Protect, so there is a storm coming. So in this time, there was the Dust Bowl. In this time, right now, we have a storm in the mass consciousness. And so that maybe, in a sense, the idea was that we have to build a shelter belt of sorts, like of light workers, so that the storm doesn't rage so wildly, that we can help to weather the storm, help others to weather the storm, and we can lessen the effects of the storm by being the trees, light workers, sort of trees. And so I wanted to share that. I'm not sure about the cave idea, but this might also be related to what is happening. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening underground at the moment, and there's a lot of stuff being revealed about the underground. So this might be one of the storms in the mass consciousness. So this storm that's happening now might be something that is about to happen, or might be something that is happening already, but it's going to start to build up more and more. And so another aspect of this storm is this is something you probably have heard about. So that the Voyager, I'm kind of close to this Voyager. Voyager was sent out in 1977 by NASA, so quite a while ago. And it was, it's 2 years younger than me. So 47, 40, yeah. So yeah, and it was sent out that time, and just floating out into space, and it had finally escaped the solar universe. I'm not sure what the heliosphere is, what they call it. Like a year or two ago, I remember that. And but somehow they just got new data, and the reason the Voyager is close to my heart is I wrote a piece based on the Voyager. I wrote a solo guitar piece based on it, and about just imagining what it was like to be the Voyager just out there floating in space. And so, so here's the idea. This is something that's been talked about a lot on the media. Well, it's not really in the media, but if you, yeah. But so this is talking about Voyager received some data from something out in outer space, and it downloaded a picture. It downloaded this face, and so and this man here on the left that's an AI drawing, I'm pretty sure, of Michio Kaku. So Michio Kaku is a very popular. He's a populist. I don't know how you call him. One of those people that popularizes. He is a popular scientist that appears on TV a lot and writes a lot of books about popular science. And so if he's associated with something, it usually means it's something that they want everyone to know about, but somehow no one knows about this. So it's really interesting. But the idea is that they made some sort of contact with something or other. And so this is very interesting as well. And I'm surprised that it doesn't get more, it's not really talked about too much. But so Cliff High, if you're familiar with him, he was talking about it. And he, in the story, I can't really corroborate the information, but supposedly two of the scientists that saw this picture, that's not the original picture, their neurological patterns were shifted and changed. They were different from what somehow this pattern changed something inside of them. And so this is also, I think, a little part of the storm in the mass consciousness. So a lot of stuff is kind of happening at the moment. TT Tracy, hey, good morning. Good evening. So this is Michio Kaku. So this could be quite a storm of sorts. And the other thing is this thing, solar flares. There's some big stuff happening, solar flares these days. So So not only is the storm in the mass consciousness, but it's also on the sun. But there is a possibility that the sun is related to our mass consciousness as well. So there you go. So I just wanted to share that, as I thought that was quite an interesting thing that's going on, this storm in the mass consciousness. So we got the Roosevelt belt, the shelter belt. We've got these in the caves, so the underground. And then we also have the solar flares that are coming up. And we also have the Voyager thing that's happening as well. So some sort of contact. And the contact is changing people. They're different from what they were before. And so, and this is something I think that we've all been really thinking about with this ascension, that with the ascension, we have to work, we have to do the shadow work ourselves to rise above whatever it is that could be coming. Oh, the other aspect of this is the dome, the golden dome that is about to be built in America as well. So there's just a whole bunch of stuff kind of in the air, right? That's and so all this stuff. So I thought, for me, this was really interesting, that I was just walking around one day and I heard this thing about the storms in the mass consciousness, and I thought, well, okay, well, all right, I'm just wandering around. I had a guitar lesson, and it was in between guitar lessons, and I was just taking a walk, and I thought I'd channel a bit, and then they were like, okay, don't do vocal channeling at the moment. There's a storm in the mass consciousness. And so I thought what I would do. So I'm treating all this just as if it is a dream. So it is a mixture of a dream, and also of what I've been getting from channeling, and also from information that was shared by other people online. So I'd like to do a channeling on this. I thought it might be apropos. And so I'm going to do a channeling in the storm in the mass consciousness. And I was just curious if others were experiencing something related to this or not. So anyway, here we go. Greetings, we are Esmeralda, and we are here. And yes, we would like to share about the storm in the mass consciousness. There have been many storms in the mass consciousness throughout your existence on this plane, and we don't mean just this one life, but we mean on all of the different lives you've had on this plane. There have been different storms, there have been waves, there have been rises and falls, and all of this is you are one entity. You are one entity experiencing itself as billions of different entities on this planet, and all of you are sharing this experience together. You could think of that each one of you is like one tentacle of a giant being, and you're all having these lives and uploading all of this information into the central computer, or the central brain, however you'd like to view it. And on a larger scale, this is what is happening with the universe as well. You are a part of the universe. You are experiencing your world. You are as the universe. You are the universe experiencing the world. You are a part of that universe. You are perceiving this, and you are having these experiences. And while they are your own, they are also a part of the collectives as well. And this is something that is hard for all of you to understand on this third dimensional plane, because it's impossible in this third dimensional plane. You have these concepts, political concepts of collectivism that are impossible. They do not work in the yin and yang universe, and that's why they always fail, and they always prove to be something other than what they seem on the surface. But this idea of a collective conscious is truth, but it is truth that is beyond your ability to perceive on this third dimension. If you're able to look beyond this third dimension, you could understand, yes, that you are all connected and you're all one. But this third dimension is all about separation, and so everything that you see outside is separate. You are separate from your situation. You are separate from the ground. You're separate from the sky. You're separate from the water. Everything is separate from you. But that is the perception that you have here, and that is by design, so that you experience everything separately in order to have a new experience of them, and have a fresh experience of them. And that is what you are doing down here. But this storm in the mass consciousness at this moment is a storm of new information that is flooding through, that is coming through, because it is time. So for all of the different beings that are out here, that are here on this planet at this moment, experiencing everything that is going on, the paradigm shift is coming, and with that paradigm shift, it will be perceived as a storm in this mass consciousness for those who are not ready for the storm, for those who have not prepared, who have not battened down the hatches in that sense, who have not done the shadow work. This storm will rage through all of the shadows and bring them all up to the surface all at once. And so for those who are not ready, it can seem like quite a storm. And this is why all of you are here, and this is the dream that this being had. You are the light workers. You're there to help. You're there to catch them. You're there to to show them that it's okay, because they are going to be going through quite a ride, quite a thrilling ride of all of the things that they're holding on to, all of the things that they're not letting go of, being suddenly disappearing all at once, and all of the shadows that they had been hiding all coming out all at once to haunt them. And this will be quite a storm for many to wither. And so you, having gone through all of this, will be able to stand there as that giant tree, that giant lighthouse, and saying, it's okay. You can take shelter in this tree. You can take shelter in the light of this lighthouse. You are going to be okay. And that's what you are here. You are the great shelter belt of this storm in the mass consciousness. And this is why you have come here at this time on this planet. You are here to catch, to help all of these people who will be suffering, and you have the ability to do it because you have been working so hard on yourself. And so this is the time. In that sense, it is a time of celebration for you. It is a time for you to shine. You have been hiding behind, you have been hidden, and your true talents have not been truly exposed in that sense to the wide world, because the wide world has not understood what it is that your talents are. But in those times, this storm in the mass consciousness, your talents will be the ones that will be sorely needed. And so this is your time. This is all of your time. All right. So yeah, like that. The baby noise is not getting picked up on the audio. No, I think it's like the people next door. Maybe they're just, yeah. But it stopped, I guess. Yeah, someone probably didn't want to take a bath or something. No bath. I live close to like a school too, and at the school these past few years, I've noticed a lot of children are really throwing tantrums about going to the school. Like they know, like, this is the new generation, and they're like, you are not putting me in that place. I am not going in there. And they're just like, no way. You know? And so it's interesting to watch. It's a big thing, I think, all over the world. So even here in Japan, it's happening. So yeah, okay, so that's the message, and I think that was kind of what I got as well. That yeah, we are the great shelter belt. We are the ones to help with this storm in the mass consciousness. And yeah, so I hope you guys are hopeful. And thanks, TT Tracy. It's good to see you in the chat. Good to see you. And so yeah, go beach. Woohoo! Let's wither this storm.